I love the Olive Garden Chicken Gnocchi Soup. It's like one of my top 5 favorite soups. Today, I'm gonna attempt to make a dairy-free version, but not only that, I actually went to Olive Garden and got the soup so we can compare it to the real thing. So, if that sounds interesting to you, let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm Lisette, and like I said in the intro, I'm going to be making a dairy-free version of the Olive Garden Chicken and Gnocchi Soup today. I am not personally dairy-free, but I always choose to do less dairy when possible, and I have several family members that are completely dairy-free, so I like to cook so that everyone can enjoy together, but I want it to taste just as good. So today we're gonna attempt to recreate a version. I'm gonna link the recipe that I kind of adapted this from in the description box below if you don't want the dairy-free version, and I'm also gonna add my recipe that I'm gonna be making today for you guys. It's gonna be all written out for you below. I have all the ingredients ready to go behind me so we can get started. Doing mostly the same things, a few adaptations here and there, but the main thing is that I'm gonna use this almond and coconut creamer. It is the original kind, and it's unsweetened. So make sure you get the unsweetened version. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add the oil. We're gonna add 4 tablespoons, and that's what we're gonna saute the celery and the onion in. Guys, I measure over the bowl all the time. Don't hate me. Probably not the best thing. By the way, we're over medium-high right now, and the first thing we're gonna add is the onion. That was about 1 whole onion, about like a small to medium size. And then I'm also going to add the celery right now too. So we're just gonna let that saute until the onion is nice and translucent. I'm also gonna add some salt and pepper now. I'm gonna add a half a teaspoon of salt. The recipe just says salt and pepper oh, this is 1 teaspoon, oops. Okay, hold on. Let me just add about a half. I'm gonna mix that in. It's gonna help the onions sweat out a little bit more. Add some fresh black pepper. You know, with cooking, you can always add, but you can't take away, so I go a little lower, and then, you know, at the end I taste it and I just add more, as everyone who cooks probably does. I'm thinking that looks pretty good, and now I'm gonna add my flour to create kind of like a roux. We're gonna cook this for about another minute. It's a 1/4 cup of flour. As I said, the recipe will be down below. We just want to cook that flour down and thicken this up here. Now I'm going to slowly add some chicken stock. I have a homemade one here. We're going to add about 4 cups of chicken stock. That was just 1. This is just creating a really nice, rich base. All right, all the chicken broth is in here and it's looking good. We're gonna add 2 cups of this dairy-free creamer. You see it looks just like cream, it's amazing. Like, look at that, doesn't that look amazing? Oh, I'm so excited to eat this. Okay, here's the 2nd cup. All right, we're gonna let that get nice and hot and all combined. I just tasted it for salt. It needs a little bit more. And I'm going to add some thyme. And I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder, about a half a teaspoon. And I already added more pepper off camera. Okay, I probably added another half teaspoon or so of salt. Gonna mix that up. Her recipe calls for fresh thyme. I did not have that, so I'm using dried. I'm all about using what you have. Now it's looking nice and hot. We're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. We'll add the carrots, 1 cup of carrots. It was about 2 carrots. You can always buy the pre-shredded ones. And then we're gonna add the chicken. She calls for a cup. I'm doing about 1.5 cups. I prefer a little bit more. Wow, that looks beautiful. So next, we're gonna add the gnocchi. This is the part I'm so excited about. I made this gnocchi in the video from last week, and I haven't tasted it yet. Well, I made it last week, but I actually just made it, a few minutes ago. This is gonna be the first time tasting the homemade gnocchi that I made, and I'm very excited to try it. So I'm gonna add that into the soup now. You could always use store-bought. So I'm gonna add about 2 cups. Ooh, that's gonna stick together. Let me just drop it in. So yeah, it's gonna be about 2 cups of gnocchi. We're gonna let this simmer for 5 minutes so that the gnocchi can cook through and the carrots can cook a little bit. And all the flavors can get nice and combined. They are supposed to float when they cook. It should take probably about 5 minutes. The gnocchi looks nice and cooked. It all rose to the top. I don't know, the dairy-free creamer, it looks like it's separated a bit. Maybe next time I'd wait and cook the gnocchi. I'm gonna add the spinach right now. This is about 1 cup of baby spinach, just chopped up a little bit. Oh man, doesn't that look delicious? So the consistency of mine is a lot thinner. I probably could have added a little bit more flour, maybe even cornstarch. I don't feel like theirs usually looks like this there, but like this looks kind of like congealed. Doesn't look as good as usual. Anyway, let me taste test them, compare them, pros, cons, all the stuff. All right, the soup is done. I'm very excited to try it, especially the homemade gnocchi, to see how that turned out. I also have the Olive Garden soup here. As you can see from the other clip, it's like very gloopy. Gloopy is not really a word. It's more like a very thick consistency. I did actually heat it up in the microwave because it obviously cooled down since I picked it up earlier, but it's still, I don't know, it looks kind of lumpy. Okay, so I guess I'll taste theirs first and just kind of give you the rundown. So theirs is, I like it. It's pretty good. I do feel like, however, it looks like maybe it was like sitting in the pot for a while. It looks better than this sometimes. But let me take a bite. Give you, like it even smells, like I can smell the flour. I don't know, I don't think this was a good batch of it for them. Yeah, still pretty good. The veggies are definitely really cooked down. Sometimes they're a little bit crunchier. And the gnocchi is that same texture, kind of sticks to your teeth. I don't mind that. That wasn't a negative thing, even though it sounded gross. I've had better from them specifically, but it's okay. So let me try the dairy-free version. It's really hot. Tried to let it cool down for a bit. All right, let me just break one of these gnocchis. Ooh. Oh my, almost like threw it right out the bowl. So the gnocchi is a little harder than theirs. I don't know if that means I overmixed it or overcooked it. I don't know. I really don't know enough about making gnocchi to know, but let me see. Yeah, it's definitely a little harder. It's still good. I could have added more salt, that pinch of salt, which if you saw last week's video, that pinch of salt could have been bigger. All right, but let me think about the soup now. Try to get a bite of everything here. It's really hot. Don't want to burn my mouth. Pretty good. It's really different. It's really different than theirs, even though I think it's good. It tastes creamy to me, but it's still really different than theirs. Actually has more flavor, probably because of that homemade broth. And the veggies still have like a nice, like a little bit of a bite to them, which I kind of like. It is really good. Not really a dupe yet. I think I could perfect it a little bit more and eventually, at a later time, actually have like a better dupe for their soup, but it's really good, guys. I still recommend you trying it. I think the one thing that I would change would be to add the cream. Wait to add the dairy-free creamer till the gnocchi and the chicken is cooked, because it looked really good. It looked really creamy and like well combined while it was just like cooking for a few minutes. But then after I cooked it longer, it got a little bit separated looking. So I bet that's what the mistake was. And then I might even add a little bit more flour so that the soup stays a little thicker next time. But other than that, the taste, flavor is great. Flavor is fantastic. Wouldn't change that. And like, I've also made the recipe that I linked below. I have made that a separate time with real cream, and it was great that way. So maybe, you know, I would still recommend the recipe. I need to fine tune a few things for my recipe for it to be even better, but it's still a good one. I'd still suggest you try it and just modify it a little bit by adding that creamer a little bit later. Maybe after the gnocchi's fully cooked, add it in, get everything nice and hot again, add the spinach, and then just done right there. Don't leave it cooking for a while, and it should be perfect. I mean, I think. I can try it again probably and maybe add a note to the bottom whenever I do that so that you guys can know for the future. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love if you subscribe. If you like trying out new recipes and tasting new foods, that's what I love to do here on my channel. If you guys have suggestions of other recipes I should try, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to try them out for you guys. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.